Good afternoon. Today we're going to be talking about content marketing. In other words, how to sell your product while doing it in a way that benefits the viewer. If I were to give an example of this and say that I have a product, it's Buzz Soda, great tasting sugar water. Advertising would be me coming on camera and saying, Buzz Soda, drink this and the members of your preferred gender will be impressed. See, that's just advertising and fluff. Content marketing would be, welcome back to this episode of Cooking with Buzz Soda, where every week we make a different user-submitted recipe using Buzz Soda for a holiday recipe. You see, in this way, when we use content marketing, the viewers are not just getting sold at, they're actually part of the content, and they're coming away with a cool new recipe and experience, and they're being entertained. And a regular YouTube show is a powerful tool in your ability to use content marketing to promote your business. And if you're a small business and you're trying to get out there, yes, you can buy Google Ads, or you can invest in a YouTube channel. Granted, the Google Ads are easy. You just pay and it happens. And a YouTube channel takes a whole lot of work. But when you create the YouTube channel, you actually create a loyal audience around your product. I mean, they're loyal around your outreach, which happens to promote your product. And what this does is it creates a relationship. Your audience is going to come back week after week after week to see what you do with your product. And if you remember, we talked about those marketing guides in the 1930s that came up with the rule of 7, which is where you need 7 impressions before somebody buys a product. Well, obviously, those numbers have changed, but this gives a weekly exposure to your product, not only in a here, buy this, but in a hey, this is how we're using it, and this is how you can use it. You can see how that's going to be a whole lot more effective in presenting your product. And if you're a small business, then you're probably passionate about your product. You could be breeding geckos, you could be making enamel pins, you could be creating something with your 3D printer that helps your particular hobby. In all of these, you could have a successful YouTube channel showing not only what do you do with this product, but also how do you make the product? What's the process of making an enamel pin? How do you breed those geckos? And through all of this, they start to seeing the humans behind the product. And take me for an example. I am a long-term content creator. I create content about taking care of chameleons. I do have a business. It's a business of creating chameleon cages. And using me and my business as an example, we'll put together a sample content calendar. And you can adapt the strategy that I'm using to whatever product that you produce. All right, let's get working on that content calendar. What we're doing is putting together a list of videos that we're going to use to promote a business. In this case, it's going to be cages that are made for chameleons. And this is a strategy that I'm using. I'm about to refresh my business's YouTube channel, and this is how I'm going to go about doing it. First, before we start any creative narrative, we're going to get the basics out of the way. I will start by creating a video per product that explains what the product is. These videos, which are not going to go viral, but they're going to serve as a place that I can send people to say, check out this product. I'll be able to put these videos on the product page, so when people are thinking about buying it, they can watch these videos. I don't care if they don't go viral because that's not their purpose. So that serves the potential customer. Next, I want to serve the people who have become my customer. And I'm going to be making a series of videos about how to assemble the product. After that will be a series of videos on how to use the product and set it up correctly once it's assembled. And those 3 things don't ever have to go viral, but they are there as a support for my customers. You can use this strategy for whatever business you have. So start off with, how are you going to support people who are thinking about becoming your customers? Presenting the product, giving an idea of why they should buy a product. I do not recommend that these being slick advertisements. These should be a personal touch type video, because part of becoming a customer of yours is going to be the start of a good relationship with that customer. And that means you, the small business person, on the camera saying, hello, this is the product and this is why I designed it this way, or this is how it's going to benefit you. Next, you do some videos supporting the people who have just become your customer. How do they get started with your product? Like with me, It's with assembly, and then it's setting up the inside of the cage. So my onboarding of these customers is going to be videos showing them how to go through those two stages. If you are selling passion fruit, then your onboarding would be, okay, this is how you clean the fruit. This is how you open the fruit. This is how you scoop it out. These are some recipes that you can use right away. And once you have that suite of videos, then you've supported your customers. Those are the, I have to do this, get that out of the way. And now you can start looking at creating an actual narrative, an actual channel. This is where you can start creating community. If you were selling those passion fruit, this is where you start asking people, what are your favorite recipes? Here's some recipes. Every Saturday, we're going to have a live session where we're going to be in the kitchen and cooking or making some sort of passion fruit dish. This gives a show for people to come to and interact with, or just watch someone make something in the kitchen, whether it's passion fruit because you're a farmer, or it's Buzz Soda because you make carbonated sugar water. It's through the content marketing and the direction of the channel after that, you're going to be able to give benefit to your customers in a way that just happens to use your product. And the reason why I like content marketing so much is because it's a win-win. You are saying, I am going to make your life better. This is how you make your life better. And we're just going to be using my product as an example as I show you how you can do all this stuff. And what I like about this is throughout this entire process, you're building community, you're building a relationship. And as long as you're not being some slick salesperson, you can build something that tons of ad dollars could never do. This is perhaps an option if you sell electronic devices. It's a way to better serve your customer base. But if you have something specialty, like say Yvette, who has been on this show, she breeds a rare species of gecko. For her, a YouTube channel isn't really just a nice thing to have, it's a necessity. Because the customers who come to her are in need of some education. I mean, some people know what they're doing and they come and they don't need that education. But for the person who comes and this is the first time they're taking care of this kind of gecko, there's a necessity for that information to exist somewhere. So depending upon what your product is, a YouTube channel may be a necessity. And I will tell you, these days, people tend to go to YouTube before they go to the manufacturer. Believe me, I've learned if I want to know anything about video editing, I don't go to the manufacturer, I go to YouTube and I type it in because I'm going to get much better information from YouTube than I will the manufacturer. And now that so many manufacturers are going to AI to be their customer service, I can tell you YouTube is going to be the preferred method for people who have questions about their product. What this means is they may go to YouTube before they go to you just because that's what's happening in the world. So you may as well get ahead of that and just make a YouTube channel that has all that information. So that is where business is right now. Whether we like it or not, whether we're comfortable with video or not, that is essentially a necessity for us doing business in this day and age. Believe me, I fought it for a while, but this is where it has to be. So I am hoping that this series helps you be effective in this day and age with your small business. And with that, I'm going to let you go off and ponder your future and how YouTube is a part of it. Take care, and I'll see you tomorrow.